Hey everyone, welcome to this week's video blog. I'm coming to you from Abra, Malaga, which is located about 4,000 meters above sea level in the Andes. Now we're about 2/3 of the way through our most recent eco tour, and currently we're on our way back from Camaya headed to Cusco. Now, while we've been busy with this eco tour, the rest of the team has been trying to conduct research in the jungle, but it's been raining a lot. So really, not too much news from the jungle aside from a lot of rain. But don't worry, this week we're going to have some interesting content for you. We're going to have this second half of our interview with Chris Kirkby, where he's going to talk a bit about how our data is used to help with conservation. And before that, I'm going to give you some highlights of a recent trip we took to a community called Shanta, where we got the very special opportunity to see some Andean condors up close. Located about 2.5 hours south of the city of Cusco, Shanta is a community that sits along the border of the Cusco and Apurimac regions. While maintaining their traditional lives and values, the community of Shanta has also established a protected zone. And on the way to the condor lookout points, we were treated to stunning views of the surrounding Andean mountains. Many regions in the Andes have been subjected to extensive deforestation, and it was very encouraging to see so much natural habitat. We were treated to a wide variety of bird species. However, there's no doubt what the highlight was. It's hard to put into words how impressive it is seeing these majestic raptors soar through the Andes. Andean condors are the largest raptors in the world, with wingspans often exceeding 3.5 meters, and some individuals weighing more than 13 kilograms. While the population of Andean condors has decreased throughout the Andes in the last century, it's very encouraging to see communities such as Shanta stepping up to do everything they can to help protect these amazing birds. It's safe to say this was a visit to the Andes our tourists will not soon forget. At Fauna Forever, we collect a lot of data, and a lot of people wonder, how does that data actually help conservation? So when I spoke to Chris Kirkby a few weeks ago, I asked him just that question. So I guess one of the big questions a lot of interns ask us when we're working with them is, how does all the research you do, all the data we collect, how does it help conservation? What's it like on the ground in action? How does it help?
Excellent question again. One of the main projects that Fauna Forever runs, which again, goes back to the late 90s when it was first started, was this whole sort of long-term monitoring of wildlife, diversity levels, population densities, abundances, community structures, and how this sort of changes over time. Mm-hmm. That's a really important thing because any kind of forest or land area needs to be managed in one way or another. Mm-hmm. And management requires you to count things. Yeah. You have to count things, you have to know what's there, you have to know how things are changing, and you have to sort of have an idea as to where you might want to see things going. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or if you want things to remain the same, like if you want to maintain ecosystems within certain limits, then you have to know where you're starting off.
Of course.
Yeah. Most of our initial work, and whenever we go to a new site, a new research site, we try and set up what's called a baseline of information. Mm-hmm. And then during the course of our return visits to these mm-hmm. sites, we then obviously try and work out what's going on with the wildlife based on the comparisons with that baseline. Yeah. And we can know whether wildlife diversity is going up, going down, is it stable, is it sort of moving up and down over time? Exactly. Are there any species that are doing better now than they used to? Etc., etc. So trying to sort of understand what's going on from a sort of population point of view, and trying to extrapolate things also into the future. Mm. So that's one thing. So the information is provided so that we know, and land managers and the reserve personnel will know whether or not they're doing a good job. Mm. Yeah. Is the Tampara National Reserve being well conserved? Mm. Yeah, or not? Mm. Yeah. And what activities like hunting, Brazil nut extraction, timber extraction, that goes on the periphery and on the outside of the reserve, whether or not that has an impact or not on wildlife. Then we have other groups of people, other groups of landowners, private landowners mainly. We have research stations, we have ecotourism lodges, we have communities. They all manage large areas of forest here, and they also want to know what's going on with their wildlife. Yeah? Are their management policies working for conservation or not deal with? So we are basically an organization that helps to sort of wave red flags if necessary. If we suspect that there are populations of animals that maybe are going down for whatever reason, maybe their density is going down to levels that are unnatural, then we would raise our flag and we'd say, okay, there's something going on here. Maybe we need to find out what the reason is and try and prevent that happening.
Well, that's it for this week's video blog. Hopefully the rain lets up in the jungle and we can get back to our research. And don't forget, you can follow Fauna Forever on Facebook and Instagram, and check out our website, www.faunaforever.org. We'll see you next week.